Mic check, 1 2 1 2. All is well. Hope all is well out there. Tonight is going to be a very interesting, a very emotional night for me, as I'm not very happy with today's events, and I will tell you why. As some of you may have seen from the thumbnail, we had sentencing today in one of the defendants in the Messiah Nantwi murder case. So I'm going to be discussing that today, and hopefully potentially getting your input. But before anything, before we go into the news, I have to do a quick commercial as usual. Please, everyone out there, like the video, like the stream, comment below. If y'all could please tell me where you're watching from, what state you're watching from, whether you're in New York, whether you're in Florida, whether you're in Australia, you're in a whole different country. There are critical thinkers out there from all across the globe. So I want to thank everyone for watching, and I want to thank everyone for supporting. And if you feel compelled to do so, feel free to send a super chat or super thanks, or do a cash app, criticalcombohr.com. I'm sorry, criticalcombohr. That's the cash app. And of course, it doesn't cost you anything to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Again, it helps with the algorithm. It helps tremendously. So we have Nona E828 from New York City. We have Elizabeth Miller from, someone taught me how to say this name, uh, Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Hopefully I said that right. Someone had sent me a text message with the phonetics of how to pronounce that name. So if I killed it, I apologize, Elizabeth. I apologize for that. So again, thank you for being here, everyone. Now, for those of you who haven't been following the news, um, an incarcerated individual by the name of Messiah Nantwi was brutally beaten 3 times at Mid-State Correctional Facility. This channel has covered many different abuses, the stories of many incarcerated individuals. The day before Messiah Nantwi was brutally killed, Christopher Keeles was beaten, and luckily he survived. He was featured on NBC4 New York. Sarah Wallace covered his story. Sarah Wallace also covered Messiah Nantwi. So she's been covering these cases. I've been covering these cases, covering these defendants, and covering the court process. And today we had sentencing today for one of the defendants, Nicholas Vitale II. Okay, so Nicholas was not, according to court documents, he was not one of the officers involved in the actual beating itself, but he was involved in the attempted cover-up that occurred. So the funny thing is, when I was talking to my wife about this live stream tonight, and I told her what happened, she said, "Oh, he got a slap on the wrist, on the wrist." And I told my wife that was the title of my thumbnail in terms of what he received, because he truly received a slap on the wrist. And what occurred, probably for me, is one of the most demeaning things that I've seen in terms of devaluing the life of someone who's incarcerated. So a couple of things I want to do. I want to read an article for you. The article is not that long. It's about a 2-minute read. And then afterward, I'm going to play for you the video of, Nicholas Vitale's attorney talking after the sentencing. And for me, this is where we see the utmost disrespect. We see the double speak. We see the use of language to mislead people and to minimize death. So I'm going to go ahead and share an article with you now that I have up. Give me one quick second. I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to read this to you. This is not a massive read. I totally understand that we have people that are different learners, right? People need to see a video. People need to read something. People need to hear something. So this live stream is going to be a little bit of everything. And also, this live stream is not going to be a long live stream. I expect to be on for about 25 minutes. It's going to be wham bam, thank you. I'm going to go in and tell you what I think. I'm going to read the news. I'm going to show you the news. I'm going to give some commentary, and then we'll just call it a night. Okay. So in fact, I'll minimize myself and highlight the article. Okay, so this is from News Channel 2. Here we go. Utica, New York. A former local corrections officer charged in connection with the beating death of Mid-State Correctional Facility inmate in March pled guilty on Tuesday, today, in Oneida County Court. Nicholas Vitale was originally charged with conspiracy and offering a false instrument for filing. He pled guilty to attempted offering a false instrument for filing. In doing so, Vitale acknowledged submitting a false form. In an attempt to thwart any investigation by New York State Police, State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision, and the New York State Attorney General's office into the death of Messiah Nantwi. So to make a long story short, he filed a false instrument, false report that would have substantiated the claims of these other correction officers. Okay. So here's what is the most insulting thing for me, because I'm going to make myself bigger. Here's the thing that I can tell you for a fact. If I did, or if you did what he did, we would not get this sentence that Nicholas Vitale got. They would throw us under the bus. If you or I attempted to cover up a murder, we would get prison time. And most likely we would get substantial prison time. So I'm going to read to you what his sentence was. And do me a favor. You tell me whether you think this was just and this was fair. Okay? So if you believe what I'm going to read to you is fair, write fair in the chat. If you believe this is unjust, write unjust in the chat. Let's go back to the article. So this was his sentence. Vitale was also sentenced on Tuesday to a $750 fine, $200 state surcharge, and $50 DNA fee. He also had to agree to resign from his job. So let's not get this twisted. So for his involvement in a murder in which Messiah Nantwi was savagely beaten, he just has to pay $100. I'm sorry, he just has to pay $1,000 and quit his job. Now you tell me whether that's fair. If you believe it's fair, and by all means, if you disagree with me, put that in the chat right now. Write fair in the chat. If you believe this is unjust, write unjust in the chat. Help me out there, because I want to take a little survey and just see what you guys believe, because this doesn't seem fair to me. It seems unjust, and it also sets a bad precedent. It sets the precedent that if you are involved in covering up a murder in a correctional facility, you can just walk away, you could lose your job, pay a fine, and that's it. So somebody out there, like, help me make it make sense for me. Make it make sense. And I challenge anyone out there, if you want to come on and chit chat, I'm actually going to put in the chat the invite if people want to come on and voice their opinion, because this doesn't make any sense to me. And if you could do me a favor, I want you to be my therapist tonight and help me make this make sense, because it doesn't. Absolutely not. And let's go back to the article. Also in Oneida County Court Tuesday, former CEO Daniel Berger, who's charged with manslaughter, gang assault, and other crimes. He neither accepted nor rejected his plea offer. His attorney said talks are ongoing with the prosecution. The judge set motion dates in August. Two others charged in connection with Nantwi's death have already pled guilty. Nathan Palmer pled to one count of falsifying business records and one count of hindering prosecution, both felonies. His agreed upon sentence, 2 one-year sentences served at the Oneida County Jail. He faced up to 4 years in state prison on one and 2 1/3 to 7 years on the other if convicted. Now, most likely, I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe this is going to be run concurrently. So his agreed upon sentence of 2 one-year sentences served at the Oneida County Jail. I believe that's going to be concurrently, meaning he only does 1 year. I could be wrong. I'll do some more research on this and get back to you, but I'm not sure if he's doing 2 years straight in county jail. My understanding of county jail was you do 1 year or less. Let's continue on. Joshua Bartlett pled guilty to hindering prosecution and falsifying business records. He and Palmer are scheduled to be sentenced August 8th in Oneida County Court. Now, everyone, please do me a favor. On your calendars, August 8th, mark your calendar, mark it, sentencing Joshua Bartlett and Palmer, Nathan Palmer. It's important that we all keep track and we stay committed to following these court cases, following these defendants until the very end. Because as of now, I don't believe justice is being served. I believe Nicholas Vitale got a slap on the wrist, no jail time, $1,000 fine. So if one of you could help me make it make sense, that would be greatly appreciated, because as of right now, it's not appearing that this is making sense whatsoever. It's as Railbird R says, unjust Hochul runs a clown show along with Docs. So yeah, very disappointed with today's court date. Very disappointed with the sentencing. No jail time for Nicholas Vitale, and he has to pay $1,000 fine. The perception that it sends out to the general public is that the lives of incarcerated individuals do not matter whatsoever. And that's the price you pay for the death of an incarcerated individual. So I'm very disappointed with that. Very disappointed. Extremely disappointed. So the thing I want to do next is I do have a clip I want to share with you. The clip is of Nicholas Vitale's attorney. So very quickly before I go on, a quick 20-second commercial. We have about 16 people in the live stream tonight. Do me a favor, if y'all could please like the stream. It doesn't cost you anything to like it. Comment below, keep chatting. Let me know what you believe. Is this just, or is it unjust, or is it fair? Okay. Share the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and if you feel compelled to do so, if you're financially able to do so, feel free to contribute any donation contribution to the channel. It greatly helps with expenses, and we appreciate it. If not, don't feel compelled to do so. Just do me a favor and like the stream. So I want to go ahead and share a video with you now, and the video for me is very, very telling in terms of the attitude, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this for you now, and you guys let me know what you think about what Nicholas Vitale's defense attorney is saying. I'm going to stop it. This is not a long video. This video clip is about 1 minute and 15 seconds. I'm going to stop it maybe 2 or 3 times because I think there's some things he says in there that needs attention. Okay, so I'm gonna play it now for y'all.
Officer charged in connection with the beating death in March of Mid-State Correctional Facility inmate Messiah Nantwi pled guilty today in Oneida County Court. It is our top story here on this Tuesday afternoon. 32-year-old Nicholas Vitale was originally charged with conspiracy and offering a false instrument for file. He admitted submitting a false form in an effort to thwart an investigation into the death of Messiah Nantwi, and now he won't be facing any jail time.
And just understand this, he won't be facing any jail time whatsoever. Not even probation, not even probation for a year, just $1,000 fine. Well, $750. There's a $200 fee and a $50 DNA fee. So $1,000 for his participation in the murder and cover-up of Messiah Nantwi.
This was him accepting responsibility for the role he played here. You know, it was never a question of his actual involvement in any type of assault. That was.
So you notice this. I think it's funny how this defense attorney, and mind you, when I was a young boy, I wanted to be a defense attorney. I believe every individual has a right to adequate counsel. So I'm not demeaning any defense attorneys, but in terms of what Nick is saying here, in terms of accepting responsibility, this is not accepting responsibility. For us, accepting responsibility would have been jail time. But that's not for me to say. This is being prosecuted by the special prosecutor, Bill Fitzpatrick. And based on his history, I'm not surprised with what's going on here.
It was always very clear that Mr. Vitale never touched anyone during this. He was given other responsibilities by his supervisors, and he was doing.
And just two things there. How many people have been involved in murders of others, did not even touch them, and had to do substantial jail time? So his argumentation that he did not touch this individual, for me, that's nonsense. He attempted to cover it up. And then he speaks about his supervisors
doing that. You know, obviously he made some mistakes thereafter, and this is just him accepting responsibility.
Vitale was sentenced today. The judge fined him $750, charged him a $200 state surcharge and $50 DNA fee. Asked if he had anything to say, Vitale replied, "No, Your Honor."
And of course, he's not going to have anything to say whatsoever. He just got off with a slap on the wrist. He got off paying $1,000, and you know, as Leslie says, this is ridiculous. This is worse than ridiculous. It's unjust. It's unjust. Yeah, and then Nona E828 writes this. It shows you how much the court values the life of an incarcerated person. Now, we know if this was you or I, you know, if John Williams was killed and we attempted to offer up a false instrument, we would be underneath that jail right now. So it's just screwed up for me. I'm very disappointed with this. And then we have Al Razak says the cover up is worse than the crime. In some cases, yeah, it is. The cover up is worse than the crime. Leslie Scott says this is ridiculous. I agree. And then we have Nona E828 says that's not even a slap on the wrist. That's not even a slap on the wrist. I agree with you, because at least if he would have, I mean, probation, but no jail time, no probation, you know, a series of fines that total up $1,000. So guys, that's the news for today. I was hoping I would have something more uplifting for you. I'm going to keep track of all the defendants in the Messiah Nantwi murder case. I will continue to keep you updated as well as those defendants in the Robin Brooks murder as well. So with that being said, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Please like the video, share the video, comment. Most of you have commented. Thank you for that. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. And if you are already subscribed, do me a favor, encourage one person to subscribe to the channel. YouTube is not very favorable of this type of content. YouTube does not really push out this content to a wide audience. So this is going to be a grassroots type of operation. Okay, I will continue to keep you guys informed. As I say in all of my videos, my goal is to go deeper than what the mainstream media is telling and sharing with you. Take care, God bless, and I will see you next time.